So we can just do a quick demonstration so you guys can see the creation of a cluster. We do have a real live cluster out there.
Yeah, we saw it on the way in.
We have time afterwards, and you guys would like to see. Perfect. Does it fit in your vehicle?
Did you see the limo? We can fit that.
Didn't see it.
No problem.
Getting it in the overhead rack on the way home might be tough,
That might-
but we
okay.
can get it to the airport.
Everybody's got to take a drive.
What's the hardware based on?
The CPU architecture?
No, the sheet metal.
Who are you buying the servers from?
Yeah.
Depends. The X2 is one that we designed. And the X4 is off the shelf. It's the chassis is, for the most part, just a super micro chassis.
Okay.
I mean, that's the advantage that we've had all along, right? We can port our software to whatever we'd like, whether we design it ourselves or get it from somebody else.
So I wanted to give you a quick demo of the initial configuration of a cluster. So imagine we've got our nodes racked and stacked. They've all powered on. It take about 5 minutes to boot up. After boot, you can pull up our Snap Server Manager discovery tool, which is shown here. And you'll see 3 different nodes that we've got fired up and their associated IP addresses. In order to set up the cluster, we can go into the web admin tool here. Okay. Next, RainCloud OS is going to say, okay, are you creating a new cluster or are you adding to an existing cluster? So obviously, we're creating a new SnapScale cluster. We're going to select that. And then it's going to give us a snapshot of each node. So what is the name of each node? What's the OS? And then how many drives and what capacity drives are in each node? Okay. After that, we can select Next. And it'll give us a quick overview of how we should set up our client and storage network. By the time you've arrived at this step, you're already there. It's just giving you a visual depiction of what that should look like. Okay, after that, you can enter your individual network settings for your network infrastructure. Okay, and then you've got to assign IP addresses to each node. So notice we've got 3 nodes, but it's asking for 4 IP addresses. Well, that's because one of the nodes becomes the management node, so it needs a separate management IP address. So what you can do if you've got a lot of nodes that you're adding or configuring for the first time is you can simply enter the starting IP address here, and then it'll go ahead and populate the rest of the IP addresses. So it gives each node a static IP address as well as the management node IP address. We can hit Next from there, and then we can give our system a name. So we can say, we're going to figure this for sales. Okay. All right, next you select your replication count, by 2 or by 3. So that is a global system-wide setting. Right. To maximize space, we can select by 2. And then how many spares do we want? Do we want any? Yeah, probably. Do we want 2? Do we want 3? It's allowing you to select 1 per node if you like. And then snapshots. So do we want to reserve space in that global namespace for snapshots and the snapshot volume? If you do select yes, then you can select how much space you want to reserve. Okay, the default is 20%. You can go up to 90%, which would be completely impractical. We're going to leave it at 20 in this case. We're going to hit Next. Okay. Oh, I didn't enter a valid SnapScale name. So we'll take sales off of there. They don't get their own cluster. You can't? Okay.
And the snapshots of the whole cluster at a whack, right? And how many snapshots can you have? Can you have as many as you want, or?
255 max.
Copy on write kind of thing? It's a space.
Okay, are they copy on write or redirect on write?
At this stage, they're copy on write. We're working on a better approach.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, next we enter the time. It's important for all the nodes, of course, to be synchronized. You can also enter an NTP server if you like. All right, it gives us a quick summary. We've got our SnapScale cluster with a two-way redundancy, or 2x replication count, 3 spares, 20% snapshots, and there's our management IP address. So we can enter that in a browser when we want to manage it in the future. After that, do you want to create it? Yes, we do. Let's create our cluster. Takes about 3 minutes to create SnapScale, and then it'll essentially boot. So about 5 minutes after that, we'll have our cluster, and we can start using our global namespace. Okay. Go quick and easy. And adding nodes or adding drives is a very similar process. I think we're coming close to our time limit here, so are there any final questions or anything we can answer for you? Okay.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks, Jeremy. We do have that 5-node cluster out there. It's only configured with 3, so we can show you if you want to see as we're kind of wrapping up. If anybody wants to see, we can pull it up real quick and add the 2 nodes, and you can see how that works. And we can even show you the data rebalancer, how that starts the process and starts moving the data around. I think we put, I don't know, a few terabytes on there, so we can actually move something around. So thanks very much, guys. This has been great. The questions are fantastic. I always love it when we get people that can dig beneath the data sheets, so I appreciate that. And again, thanks for everything, and I look forward to doing this again.